Small warning, the styles may not be up to date. I drew all of these on the 26th of January. Apologies. Hello everyone, I have something exciting planned for you. Yes, finally, I'm posting something that's not a map part. Oh, also, I have a better microphone for this video, but I'm probably not going to be using it very frequently. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I've been working on this secretly for the past few days and I'm finally done. I present to you Drawing in Your Styles Challenge. I've cherry-picked 12 talented artists to replicate the styles of, in my biased opinion, of course. I would fit in more, but this already took way too long with 12 styles. But before I begin with drawing in other styles, I'll show you the baseline I'll be using for this challenge. It is a simple headshot drawing of my OC son. All the headshots will use the same expression and pose, but some things may be changed depending on the art style. Also, my commentary might be crappy since I'm kinda rushing to finish this. Now that I've explained the basics, we can begin. The first style is by Clover the Leaf Knight, otherwise known as Clover. I personally really like her style. It has smooth line art with minimal sharp edges, and the eyes and ears are very large compared to the head. The line art is not too thick and not too skinny. This makes her characters extremely adorable. She also has very simple shading, which only takes a minute or two to lay out on the character. I don't know how you do this. You are amazing, Clover. I don't use thick line art for my drawings most of the time, so this was certainly a challenge. I tried my best though. I hope I did well. The second style is by MochaXX, otherwise known as Mocha. We are besties, if you didn't already know. Her style has very messy line art, which may be a negative part of the art style to others, but I actually really like it. If you can do messy line art well, then it will look good, and she does that perfectly. The ears are shaped like diamonds and droop a little. They are pretty small. She has simple coloring and minimal to no shading in her drawings, which makes my life so much easier. She only adds extra and more complex details to her drawings on special occasions. Overall, a unique shape and way to draw your characters. The third style is by Saffron Fire, otherwise known as Saf. Saf has been a long-time inspiration of mine since the beginning of my channel. I was always showing up to her streams and chatting with the people of the live chat. She has skinny line art and a more realistic style to her dragons. Her snout shapes are very unique and long, which looks very well on her characters. The teeth are drawn in a way so they look like they are not as sharp as a normal dragon's teeth, but the rest of the mouth is more detailed. The eyes are very large, but this varies on all of her artworks. She has some shading in specific areas of the character, but this isn't as often. I would say this is also a very unique style, since I've never seen anything similar to this on the internet before. Fourth style is by Sunrise, otherwise known as Sun. Some attributes of her style are similar to mine, such as the relative head shape and some parts of the eyes, but there are many obvious differences. The mouth is very stylized and can be drawn as large and as small as you wish. The eyes express overwhelming emotion, and in some animations I can't even see the pupils if I'm being completely honest. But that is a wonderful trait of her art style in combination with the mouth. She can also draw 45-degree facing dragons amazingly as well. This is an angle I personally struggle to draw. I still have no idea how she does it. Maybe because I sketch much more differently than most artists do. The line art is simple, but the coloring is more complex to match the minimal line art. The shading is extremely intense, like my shading. The colors of the shading vary widely throughout every single one of her animations, even in the more simple animations. I love her art style so much, especially the exaggerated portrayal of the emotions shown on her characters. The fifth style is by Sleepy Gemstone, otherwise known as Gemma. Her art style was most definitely the hardest to draw, since she draws very professionally. The blending of the different colors is very complex, and she understands color theory much better than me. I may know some aspects of color theory, but only some. She takes her time with each of her art pieces, and I can never be that patient. She always draws everything wonderfully. Even her character ref sheets look extremely detailed and are fully shaded, unlike me, who tries to finish my drawings as soon as I can. LOL. Her drawings are stylized to some degree, but the eyes are very detailed with lots of glare in the pupils. This makes the eyes look very realistic. I tried to replicate this as well as I could with less brushes and tools at my disposal. She knows anatomy very well. I have never taken my time to study dragon anatomy since, as mentioned before, I am impatient. I just do anatomy my own way. Overall, her art style is one of the best and most elegant art styles I've ever seen. Although it was a challenge, it was definitely fun to replicate her style. The sixth style is by Sylvia the Water Dragon, otherwise known as Sylvia. This was definitely welcomed after drawing such a complicated style for so long. Sylvia's dragons are very rounded. This usually depends on the dragon she is drawing though, with almost no sharp edges, mostly in the face. The eyes are very large compared to the head, and the mouth is too. The mouth can extend very far on her dragons, and the pupils can shrink a lot. Her line art is very clean, with no minor protrusions of the lines as far as I can see. The large eyes, in my opinion, make her dragons a little cute. In general, it is a simple style. This is shown when she does her shading, which is also simple. I like the beauty of that. Nothing has to be added or changed in her style. The seventh style is by Dawnlight, otherwise known as Dawn. This was difficult to draw in terms of references, since she is not a Wings of Fire content creator. Instead, she creates OC content, and occasionally some Creatures of Scenario content. By the way, to all of my COS fans who have remained since the COS era of my channel, sorry, I'm not continuing with it. COS has gotten too pay to win for me. All the updates are difficult to catch up on, especially with my little Robux impatience, lol. Anywho, this was also an easy style to draw. The line art is very thin and pixelated, and could be compared to the way I draw line art. The colors are not blended, nor are they complicated, which makes it much easier to draw in contrast to some of the other styles I'm drawing. The eyes are small and the teeth are very sharp and stylized. The pupils are small and the highlights in the eyes are ovals, which looks pretty cool. The teeth are quite sharp and often stick out of the mouths of her characters. The shading is very unique, and it was certainly difficult to figure out how to do it, but I'll try to describe how I did it. First, I laid out the flat shading. Then I touched up some areas. Then, using an airbrush eraser, I erased edges of the shading, if that makes sense. The shading should look wonderful after that. This was fun to draw, and everything about this looks amazing. The eighth style is by Resident Trickster, otherwise known as Trickster. His style is also very unique, since I have personally seen nothing like his style. His style consists of many sharp edges and diamond-like shapes scattered on the characters he draws. The eyes are my favorite part of the style. They are also shaped like diamonds, but it is much easier to notice. The eyes also have lots of eyeliner? I don't know what I should call it. The pupils are usually pretty small in all of his art, but this can vary. The way he does his line art and his animations is incredible. And he does all of this in FlipaClip too, rarely tweening his animations in a different app. I wish I knew that much about FlipaClip, even though I've been using it for approximately 4 years of my animation career. LOL. The overall shape of the character depends on species. For example, sea wings and rain wings have more calm shapes, while sky wings and ice wings have sharper shapes. I'm jealous. I honestly have same face syndrome in my characters. LOL. Overall, this is a very elegant style and nothing more needs to be added to it, not even shading. The ninth style is by Starfinder9574, otherwise known as Starfinder or Star. She has a cute style, which was directly told to me it was inspired by mine. I was pretty happy when I read it, since I never knew I was actually an idol to anyone really. I swear I'm not being modest. I just genuinely thought I didn't because I don't have very many subscribers. Thanks anyway, Star. Anyways, moving on. Her style has very thick liner and the colors are simple. The thick liner was hard to replicate since I personally don't like line art that thick. It took a few minutes to make it look good. The eyes have a diamond shape to them and the pupils are small. There's not many details in her actual style, so adding the little details on sun was difficult. I tried to keep them minimal. There's not much shading in her drawings, so this is overall a simple and easy style. Her style can be compared to Trickster's style shape-wise. The 10th style is by Vixen Rose, otherwise known as Vixen. Vixen's style takes a more realistic approach with the small eyes and the elongated snout. The neck is long with carefully drawn scales on the base of the character. The neck is a little pushed back, which in my opinion is hard to do if you don't know how to do it. The horn is pretty long compared to the rest of the head. Everything about her characters are long, really. The eyes are placed closer to the forehead compared to most of these other styles, kind of like Sylvia's style. The ears are large, but they aren't too long. They reach around halfway to the character's horns. Sorry, that probably doesn't make sense. I'm trying my best here. This is overall an interesting way to draw dragons. Gosh, all of these styles are so unique. The 11th style is by Lemon, previously known as Blue Lemon's The Rain Sea. Yes, I remember that. It's basically engraved in my head. I watched her channel that much. It's yet another simple style. Well, maybe not that simple. It could be harder to draw though. Ears are massive, almost as big as the character's head. The eyes are pushed up onto the forehead slightly and are quite big. Drawing the pupils is simple. You simply have to draw 2 curved lines. The mouth has a certain shape to it. It's an arch and then a straight line on a 45-degree angle. The teeth are even easier. Just draw a few zigzags and you have them. The snout is pretty short. It's about half as long as the skull. The neck is pretty thick too. Luckily for me and the next style, there's no shading. Lemon, your style is amazing. It's kind of intimidating, if you know what I mean. I would be running away if I saw a dragon looking like that. This is supposed to be a compliment, I swear. Last but not least is the style of Rose50 Arts, otherwise known as Rose. I haven't been watching her channel for long, but she has an amazing art style. It's so elegant. The shape of the head genuinely satisfies me. I don't know why, but the way the head and snout curves is satisfying. Speaking of the head, it also looks like the way I draw my dragon heads. It's mostly because of the snout legs and the large forehead. The eyes are very simple, as it is usually just a solid color and a dilated pupil. The eyes are around the same place as where I put my eyes. Now that I think of it, her style is pretty similar to mine, but that's simply a coincidence since I haven't found her channel until a few months ago. The ears are slightly curved. The horns are long and the tail is large. The neck is simple in terms of shape, getting skinnier as you get closer to the chest. Again, this is an amazing style. It's so ethereal to look at for long periods of time. And that concludes the drawing of your styles challenge. It was a pain to draw all 12 of these. I think it took me around 16 hours to draw all of it. On and off, of course. But it was worth it in the end, since now I get to share this with you. I hope the owners of the styles enjoy this take on their styles. I really tried my best. There's a chance I will do this in the future, so if your style wasn't chosen, you may have a second chance to have your style be drawn. I hope you enjoyed this. This took so long to edit and record. Goodbye, my Goofy Go Bears.